So guys, welcome back to the WSXM channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Teflan. Thanks for watching, thanks for returning. And also, for those who did, tell a friend to like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to you guys. So, in the Gambia, they had the OIC summit. What for those of you who don't know what the OIC summit is, let me just give you a brief. A brief. It's a it's a organization of Islamic cooperation, which is like it's a it's a 57 countries, mostly Islamic countries, and it's like they focus on Islamic issues and what affect the Islamic states and Islamic people. So it's not like it's a organization for Africans' well-being. Technically, it's not because it just focuses on Islamic issues, which is what I don't have an issue with it, but what they did recently, what the Gambia did recently, actually hurt my heart a little bit for what happened. But let me just make a take a listen to it first, and then we're gonna dissect it. Take a listen.
Because the Gambia government is the host, not a single butut is coming from outside to fund this summit. This summit is 100% funded by the government of the Gambia. And I want this to go on record. Currently, Gambia government has within this year given us well over 400 million to be able to organize this summit. In terms of accommodation, there has been, of course, rumors that some of our guests are going to stay out of this country. I think that's not only fallacious, but it's laughable. We already have more bed space than we can even utilize. Even if we were to receive 5,000 guests in this country, we can comfortably house them, even without the five-star hotel. Currently, we even have a problem. We can't utilize all the space we have. So I want this to be very, very, very clear that we have adequate space here. The only issue we have is the parking of aircrafts. Our airport cannot handle more than 15 aircrafts at any given time. Plus, there are normal scheduled flights. Therefore, under our cooperation with Senegal, Senegal has been able to graciously permit us to use Yoff Airport as a parking for those heads of state who might want to stay longer. But otherwise, the Gambia has enough space, to handle all the aircrafts coming. In fact, I'm pleased to announce that the first arrival of aircrafts is today arriving from Saudi. It's a 350-seater plane, which is bringing in over 300 delegates today, this evening. And then the Secretary General of the OIC is actually in that plane coming. In terms of transportation, I want to tell you currently we have well over 400 vehicles parked at the GCCI Trade Fair Center. Gambia government has bought 100 brand new SUVs and Mercedes-Benz. That is enough to cater for all our heads of states. In addition, a friendly country has also given us 100 vehicles. They're all parked at the GCCI. Thirdly, the Gambia government has given us over almost 100 million to rent vehicles. So we have additional 100 vehicles, including baggage trucks, pickup trucks, ambulances. They are all parked at GCCI. If the press wants to see, you are invited. You can go there from here. You can go and verify for yourselves.
So guys, this is what I have an issue with. Whenever time there's a summit kept anywhere, whether it's England, America, Italy, Korea, wherever they have a Africa, US, Africa, Italy, Africa, whatever Africa summit, and they have these presidents come to these countries, they bring them in buses. They put 10, 15, 20 of them in a Greyhound bus, and that's what they get traveling. They don't get no special vehicles, no specific vehicles individually for them and their delegates. No. The delegates have to get regular bus just as well as the presidents get a Greyhound bus. Wherever they go. Anytime you see 57 or 50 of them go anywhere, guys. Whenever these have these summits, Guinea, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Chad are not invited. So it's typically 50 countries, 50 other leaders go to these summits. and they are treated like common people because they don't get special treatment, they don't get special vehicles to carry them. But now the Gambia take it upon themselves. The government gave them 400 million to hold this OIC summit, which has nothing to do with the development of Africa, mind you. Okay, they build and then they get an extra 100 million to rent cars, and they also bought 100 brand new vehicles, as I said, SUVs and Mercedes. As I can see the screen there, that's Land Cruisers and some Mercedes van and Mercedes cars, mostly Land Cruisers. So you have 57 leaders coming to this summit, and they all didn't show up according to reports. Not all of them showed up. So they come on a private jet. They go get picked up by with a brand new car, brand new car. They give each heads of state, and they bring them to a hotel, 5-star hotel. And according to reports, some of these heads of states did not go to the summit until they had to speak. So they stay in a hotel for days while the car is parked, and when the time for them to speak, they go to the summit. Because the summit was like 6 days, and they have a lot of delegators speaking from each country. So imagine that you bought 100 brand new cars for 57 people, or 54 because I think it's only three didn't show up. So 54 people get 100 cars. Then you rent another 100 cars. Plus, a country gave you 100 cars. That's over three, for as I said, over 400 vehicles. But 100 of them they bought for that specifically for that summit. 100 though. So you can imagine the amount of money spent on these brand new vehicles. And why would they do that for a 2 day, a 6 day summit? He just admitted he spent they get 100 million to rent 100 cars. You can tell me you cannot rent 100 cars and give it to these heads of state so they can travel from basically from the private jet to the hotel room to the summit. You don't need a brand new car for that. No way that's happened. No country ever does that. Buy a brand new car for anybody who's visiting. They never does that. They rent cars or lease cars or they have cars in their fleet. Why did this government have to go about renting and buying 200 cars to be total? And they got 100 cars free. Put the delegates in buses, because they are just like secretaries and prime ministers and so on. Put them in our bus, bring them to where they have to go, and then you can take some of these cars and then bus them individually from the hotel to the summit. Why you have to be in giving everybody you have to get a brand new car? So when after the summit finish, who gonna receive these brand new Mercedes and the Land Cruisers? The same people who bought these cars, because I think if I'm not mistaken, they have 58 people in their parliament, the Gambia. 58. Double check it, you can go look it up. I'm not 100% sure. But when I last I checked, it was like something like that. So even so, they bought over 40 cars unnecessarily. Why they choose that specific number? When you have 57 heads of state coming, you rented 100 cars, and the next country give you 100 cars, so that's 200 cars. Those 200 cars could have been used for the delegates. Why? And this is what blew my mind. They spend, and he's bragging that this money was they didn't receive the money from outside, and it cost 400 million. And you see, no one clapped during the one person in here started to clap, and then they stopped because everybody realized this was ridiculous. The amount of money spent on this summit that will not yield anything for the Gambia or for the African continent. Not they did not receive anything from this, so you spent over 400, well, 400 million to host the summit, and then another 100 million to buy the cars, another 100 million to rent cars. So that's over 600 million they spent. And what happened to the citizens of the Gambia? What did they receive out of this? Why did they take some of that money, build hospitals? Because I heard report that they need hospitals, schools, infrastructure, especially that 100 cars you spend that money on. That hurts my soul that they did this and then they acting as if it's something great they did. Oh, it was done solely by us. We don't get any outside help. No other country does anything like this. And this is why one of the reasons why they're saying some of our problems is not from colonization, it's from our heads of state and our government doing ridiculous things like this, such as this. Because the fact that he also has said that the people will stay how long they want and stay extra time, that's been they're funding the bill for these hotels, for the food, kind of what he said in a longer the longer version of the speech. I didn't show the whole speech, but summarize it. Food is they paid for, the government. Hotel, lodging they paid for. If they want to go to any gathering, that's paid for. They get someone to drive them. They get somewhere to park their jets and have to pay for it in the neighboring country. It's not free. So where and how did this benefit the Gambia? And they and it was so braggadocious about it as if it's something great. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of happening at a summit where a country spends so much money, especially on the new cars. It still blows my mind they bought 100 new cars. Mercedes, Land Cruisers. Why? You need a brand new car for somebody that's spending a couple of days in the country. I don't understand it. Anyway, so let me know what you think about this. This spending of this mass amount of money spending to buy unnecessary things, to do unnecessary things, to host a summit that does not bring any value to the Gambia. And let me know what you think about the comment section because I can't go any further with this guys upsetting me as I speak. So let me know what you think about it in the section, comment section, as always. Thanks for listening. Boom.